Hello, everyone. Doing a little sound clearing. So, welcome everybody. Make sure to get this all good here. I think I might have a little pee in here today. Feeling some pee going on, aka Prince. Anywho, so welcome to this waxing moon card pull, everybody. Yes, sir. It's been a week. It's a Thursday, and usually by the time I get to Thursday, I am feeling it, as in it's time for some respite. So to start off, I am more than likely going to read from the Pixie Lighthorse book because there's just so much good information in there. But it does kind of tie into what the energies are that are going on right now. So with this waxing moon, there's a lot of planets that are moving or are in retrograde. Now, everyone has heard, and most people, I'm sure by now, have heard about Mercury retrograde, and automatically it's like we've been conditioned to be fearful of it. And I want to continue to be the poster child for not disliking Mercury retrograde or any planet that is in retrograde for that matter. So it's not just Mercury that sometimes will slow down and it looks like it's stopping or it's reversing from where we are on Earth, but it is in retrograde, and I think it's in retrograde until mid-September. So when you hear retrograde, just think redo, revisit, relook at. We're given a chance to re-look at something that maybe actually is in our benefit to look at it again. So Venus is in retrograde. And I'm not going to go through all the planets because I'm not 100% sure, but a lot of the planets are now in retrograde. Saturn is in retrograde, and that is one of the largest planets. And Jupiter is going retrograde too. That's another large planet. So these things really do affect us. We are energy, and it can feel kind of heavy and like things are pressing down right now. So the best thing or the best way to get through that is to, of course, breathe through it. So this is perfect. It parlays into let's all just kind of connect and come into this space together. So if you would like, you can put your hands over your heart, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, whatever's comfortable, or just in your lap. And let's just connect in this space together, whether you're watching this live or in the replay. So let's just take 3 breaths. Letting go of the day. Connecting together. Nice. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time to do that. So right now we are moving towards another super full moon. Now we're having 2 full moons in the month of August. So we've got some pretty powerful energies going on. So there is a growth right now in polar tension. So we can kind of probably feel that. You can see that out there in society, what's going on out there. There's a lot of polarity really being driven home. And it can be overwhelming. However, just know that it is kind of like our personal, what we really feel about something versus the established way of thinking. So it's like us versus the establishment, if you want to get anarchist and rogue about it. So just remember to keep your center in the chaos that is flying around. We're going to be going through these energies for quite some time. We're being, I feel, given the lesson to work on staying centered, being able to stand in the eye of the storm and be centered. Some other words, some key words here for this waxing moon are integrity, maturity, responsibility. This is a time for us to really come into our own with whatever you're trying to create, what your day-to-day is. I've added a new thing to my morning time, and it is to just let go and flow with the day, however it's going to look. As much as I want to control how everything's going to go and do it with a time schedule, it doesn't work out that way. So the more that I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go with the flow. That's like one of my new mantras, is just to keep going with the flow daily. How is my day going to unfold? Right? So some other things too. This is a time of purification and intention. So we are continuing to, yes, I envision like a bag full of tissue paper, and we keep pulling out the tissue paper, and more is there, and more and more and more. I was just talking to a really close friend of mine. This is the lifetime of us cleaning up things, purging things, cleaning and healing the traumas that we have experienced. All of us have experienced. So this is a lifetime for us to do that. So we keep pulling that tissue paper out, saying, all right, got that cleaned out. Oh, there's another one and another. So with this time too, because we're getting into Virgo season, and Virgo is all about the details and wanting everything to run smoothly. So make sure that you pay attention to what is necessary for you at this time. I'm making sure most of the time in my day job, triple checking myself, taking more time, going slower, being more intentional with everything that I'm doing, like literally stopping and thinking, because I catch myself. So, all right. So with this growth and polarity, there can be a lot of anger coming out. So I am going to read from the Boundaries and Protection book by Pixie Lighthorse. I'm going to read this wonderful reminder when we do get angry, because anger is an emotion and it is okay to have that emotion. But what we have seen, or maybe we've been conditioned, or basically conditioned to do, is just react in an extremely overreactive way. And I'm an Aries, so I'm already got that fire. So I think you guys know where I'm going with that. But this one is called Cool Off. So bear with me here. I'm telling you, it's a good reminder on how to handle our anger when we are in debate, when we are talking with a loved one or someone that we work with, and we start to get angry. These are some reminders on how to handle the anger. Once we become inflamed, we can protect ourselves and others by quickly prioritizing a cool down period. Many a boundary has been violated when a flared up individual decides to ride that pony all the way to the finish line. Guilty. While there is nothing wrong with anger, those who express it in large quantities and often may need to ask if they're being lazy about how they're expressing it. Those who are not expressing it may need to ask what is underneath and holding you back. When internal temperatures have caused damage in your relationships, it's important to find new ways to protect your health and heart by taking responsibility for the state you're in. Perhaps more importantly, you will need to protect those around you, say in your bubble, and do not unleash your anger where it will cause more damage, especially to fragile systems you're in the process of repairing. Make agreements with the people around you about how you express yourself when angry. It may be that certain levels of impassioned expression are totally acceptable. When you do not make agreements, there will be cleanup to do. How do you feel about anger? Are you accepting and acknowledging of your own? The more at ease we are with our own expression of red hot feelings, the more we may provide room for others to do the same. But comfort levels with anger should not be the determining factor for setting a limit. It can be uncomfortable. When we get right down to it, it's a necessary part of our catalog of emotions. Anger expressed is a healthy way. Anger expressed in a healthy way can be a great healer. In some disputes among the equal tempered, energy is matched on either side during a disagreement, and hopefully both sides can be heard and empathized with. Navigating anger with care is a must. If you want to practice boundaries like a pro, I'm always impressed to hear the truth in its simplest form. I'm angry, when followed by, I'm going to take a walk and get a handle on it. I'm dazzled. When we're too angry to communicate the way we want to, a cool off period can help. So that might be like, yeah, I know that. Of course. But are we really practicing it? And also, do we really need to get that worked up about anything? The more that I'm learning as I'm getting into my wise woman phase here, I have spent years getting upset and been out of shape over things that no longer matter to right now. That has caused me health issues. It's caused me high blood pressure, all these things. And we can learn. We can remove and release all this old stuff that we've learned about arguing and fighting and getting angry and finding a more healthy way to communicate that to someone. I love that. I'm angry. I'm going to go and take a walk and get a handle on it. So hopefully that might have helped for someone that might be dealing with some anger. I mean, I think we all are. So all right, so this is a 4-card pull, Waxing Moon 4-card pull, and we're doing Soul's Journey. I wanted to pick something that was a little bit kind of real obvious, giving us the words, helping us maneuver through this waxing moon to the full moon. So, all right, going to get some cards going here. That was not a jumper, folks. That was not a jumper, all right? But we're going to see what comes up. But some things I want to remind you again. This is a time of purification. All right. Okay. That one was a jumper. Purification, intention, attention to details. Keep those things in mind for the next coming weeks. You know, we've got a lot of things going on. So just be easy with yourself. Grace and ease. All right. Thank you, angels. Thank you, spirit guides, for revealing to me and to us what we need to know at this beautiful waxing moon. We are willing to listen, and we thank you for your presence. All right. Let's get it going. See what the cards have to say. Oh, this waxing moon. And I will not forget that jumper. I actually kind of took a little look at it, and it is so wonderful. So, here we are. Okay. Yes, and yes. Great. Okay, here we are. What's rising up in me between now and the full moon? And this might scare people, but it shouldn't. The more I'm learning about death, the more I'm understanding it's the cycle of life, it's the cycle of things. In my yogic teachings that I've learned, there is birth, we live, there's death, and then there's rebirth. And this says, I'm learning the endings are merely beginnings. So this is really very apropos with what is going on with all the planets. This is the time to really let that stuff go that we are tired of carrying around. We've been carrying it around forever. Second card. What's the solution to any challenge I face now? And it's the envy card. Very interesting. And it says, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So that means what's the solution that to any challenge I face? So when you feel like that you're the only one going through something, just remember that you're not. And when you do come to a discourse or discord with someone, you know, trying to put ourselves in their shoes. It's happened to me recently, just very, very recently. And I didn't put myself in their shoes. And then later on, when I was like, oh, why are they acting that way? And then I happened to see why they were acting that way because they weren't feeling well. So, little lesson there. So, the third card is what is the advice of this waxing moon? And the advice is gratitude. Absolutely. This is always a game changer in anything that goes on. To be grateful for where we are and what we have in the moment. So when we're feeling like, oh, God, well, what are you grateful for right now? And it says, I am thankful for this life and the opportunity that it presents. So, yes. All right. So the final outcome is doubt, and it came out reversed. So it says, I release the need to know all the answers. So that is a huge thing here to remember that self-doubt is it's such a popular thing. I think we all experience that. Everyone does. And the more that we know to trust ourselves, to not doubt what we're doing, and to know that we're supported by our creator, by our families. Everyone wants the highest good for everyone. That's what I keep telling myself. Hey, this is all for the highest good, right? So it says, I release the need to know all the answers. So the outcome is that we won't keep asking ourselves the question, why? Why is this doing? Why is this? We don't need to know all the answers, when actually all the answers are right in here. So the card that jumped out is a wonderful one to go through all this again. What's rising up in me now? Death. Let go of what you know you don't need. If it keeps coming up, you need to work on letting it go. An ending is always a new beginning. What's the solution to what that I face? What's the solution to any challenge I face now? Envy. In other words, know that you are not the only one here, that you are supported, that everyone is going through something. So we are all in this together. And the advice is to show gratitude. Be grateful, be in the moment and be grateful. And then release the need to have all the answers and to know all the answers. So the overall feel is happiness. Happiness. We can find the joy in happiness and gratitude. Those are wonderful things to help turn things around here. And I love it because we've got gratitude, we've got happiness here, balancing out all the others. I am aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. So, trying to keep it short and sweet today because we have things we need to do. And I really want to express my gratitude to every one of you for always watching. And please feel free to leave a comment. If you really don't prefer me reading about these things that I come across in my daily readings, I understand that. But I do feel the need to share. It's what my creator, what spirit or creator is telling me to do, is to share it. And for me, learning how to work with my anger and not let it get the best of me and use it and let it go in a healthy way, I know we can all use that reminder. So thank you for joining me today. As always, I'm sending you peace, love, and soul. See you next week. Take care.